Hi everyone, this is your friend Debayan and welcome to another video of my channel. I make monthly book related videos every month. Yes, that's it. I make monthly videos on book recommendation. I talk about books that I like, that I enjoyed and that I found some value from them, and I want you to enjoy those books. So if you are interested in books, stay tuned till the end to know what are my recommendations for this month. I read a lot of books every year, every month, and I try to share my knowledge, share my recommendation with you all so that you can get the benefits that I got. If there is any book that you read in the list, if there is any book that you would want me to read that I haven't mentioned earlier in my videos or in this video, do let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to read and give my opinion on them. So without wasting any more time, let's get started with the video. The first book I'll be recommending is Spring Bouncing Back from Rejection by MB Parameshwaran. You know how some books just find you at the right time just when you need them? This book was one such example. Over the last few months, I was giving interviews and I was getting rejected. At times, the HRs even ghosted me. I kept on giving interviews. I kept getting rejected. So I had submitted my manuscript to a variety of publishers. It's a fiction book, and I continuously received rejection mails from them. Even the publisher that had accepted my manuscript is stalling me. They are not ready to go ahead with my manuscript, so I'm still hanging in the middle. So there was a lot of rejection that I was facing. There was a lot of positivity that I needed. There was a lot of tips and tricks that I needed to move on from rejection, which is when I landed on this book. Thanks to Westland for offering us 31 books in 31 days. This book was one of their offerings, and I was lucky that I downloaded this book. Reading this book, I learned that there are many ways in which we can handle rejection. There are many ways in which we can cope up from rejection. We can analyze, anticipate, learn from rejection, and move on with our life, move on to another opportunity. This book objectively taught me that rejection is not the end of the line, rather it is starting of something new. I really enjoyed reading the book, more so because I read this at the right time in my life. So if you are someone who is facing rejection, if you are someone who needs doses of motivation, if you are someone who has tough time handling rejection, who has tough time in coping up with negativity, then this book is for you. I would recommend you to read this book compulsorily. It is a very simple book. It is very easy to read book. Dr. Ambi Parameshwaran is an alumnus of IIM. He's a marketer and he's a well-known author. He has written books on branding that was a part of my curriculum. So he is someone who has been there writing books, who has been motivating students like us, who has been coming up with great books since a long time, and Spring is one such book that stands out from of the books that he had written so far. And the book also has his own anecdotes, his own life struggles, how he coped up with rejection at every phase of his life, during his interview at IIM for summer internship, during his interview for final placement, during his job, how he got some respected clients, and how that changed the face of his company, how that changed the space of advertising landscape in India. There are a lot of things that you need to learn from Dr. Ambi Parameshwaran, and I'm going to read other titles by this author and I will be sharing my opinion with you all. The second book that I will be recommending was recommended to me by another YouTuber that I really admire, Mr. Angur. He recommended The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. Naval Ravikant is an investor and entrepreneur, and he's an active content creator. Many people follow his Twitter. Since I am not much active on Twitter, I read his book. That book was a culmination of all his tweets, all his philosophies, all his teachings that he had to impart. That is one such great book. The ebook is available for free. I'll link the book in the description, so do check out, download the book and read it. Every page is filled with wisdom, every page is filled with motivation and positivity. So do check out and read that book, not only if you are into business, but also if you are someone who is into philosophy, if you are someone who wants to lead a good life, if you want someone who is looking for knowledge in the internet, then this book is one you should read. One thing that I really liked about the book is Naval Ravikant suggests us, or rather tells us, that if you want to know about a particular subject, know from the original source instead of the adaptations. Like if you want to know about origin of species, read Charles Darwin's books. If you want to read Ramayana, read the Valmiki's version. If you want to know about economics, read Adam Smith's book. So that was something that I had not been doing earlier, though I knew about all the origin authors, the pioneers of the subject, but I always read the modern books. In those subjects, I never bothered reading the original works, but after reading his books, I realized that I should be reading original works by the pioneers of the subjects that I would like to learn. So that is one thing that I'm going to carry, that is going to stay with me along with his other advices in the book. So do check out the book, link is in the description. I was asked in an interview that if there is one non-fiction book that you would recommend to everyone irrespective of the background, my answer was Ignited Minds by Abdul Kalam, and that is the third recommendation in this video. So why do I want Ignited Minds to be read by everyone? Why do I want every one of you to read Ignited Minds? That is because Dr. Abdul Kalam was someone who has started many things in India. He was responsible for many development in ISRO, DRDO, who has written books after books, who has a clear objective thinking towards how to develop India, what is the real enemy of India, how we can combat that enemy, and how we can make India a superpower. So if you are from India, if you are concerned about India, I think Ignited Minds is the one book that you should read, so that you understand not just Abdul Kalam's point of view, you understand the state in which our country is and the ways in which we can grow ahead from that. I always try to pick up a book by Dr. Abdul Kalam whenever I find them on the internet or whenever I find them in bookstores, because I know that every book written by him has some or the other wisdom to impart. So I really enjoy reading his books. I really want you all to read his book. So if you are a rational being or a religious being, his books are the ones you are going to enjoy. He talks about science, he talks about how faith is also important. So though I'm not much into religion, though I'm not a religious person, but I still admire his thoughts about religion. I admire his point of views on spirituality, his admiration for our country. He's a wonderful human being, and I think we all need to read and we need to consume the knowledge he has left behind in his books. So if you are enjoying my video, if you are liking the books that I am recommending, then do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I try to come up with more and more marketing, business and other related topics for you. The fourth book I'll be recommending in this series is a fiction book, and the only fiction inclusion in this whole list, that is Write or Jeeves by P.G. Wodehouse. Why am I recommending a fiction book? I read fiction, non-fiction, self-help, business books, every other topic, so I'm genre neutral. So whichever book I find value in, I try to share with you all. Why am I recommending a fiction books in this channel? That is because we are living in a very dark time. We are living death and unemployment all around us. So in that time, a little bit of humor, a little bit of positivity, a little escape from reality is what we all need. It's what P.G. Wodehouse's books has been helping me. That is one book I'll be recommending you if you are feeling let down in the recent times, because rightly so, we all have faced negativity in the last 2 years, and we don't know whether the third wave will be hitting us or not. If so, then when it be hitting us, even the vaccines that we took are going to be helpful or not. So we are going through a really dark time, and if you can find escapism in literature, then I would encourage you to do so. And not just Write or Jeeves, you can pick up any book by P.G. Wodehouse. You are sure to be filled with lightheartedness, sense of relaxation, and you will be able to achieve the escapism you are looking for. So escaping from reality is good once in a while if it helps you come back to your life stronger than ever. So yeah, I would be recommending this fiction book to you all. And the last book that I will be recommending you is the Behemoth Memoir by the former US President Barack Obama, Promised Land. Now, I have talked about Promised Land in one of my previous video. That book starts with Barack Obama's childhood, how he grew up without a father, how he was brought up by his mother and his grandmother, how he was pursuing law, and then he wanted to do public service, and then how his interest shifted to politics, how he did campaigned for his presidential position, what are the decisions that he took at White House. Talks about his thought process, the reason why he did that, his unfiltered opinion about the world political leaders, his unfiltered opinion about the world issues. He talks about how he managed the 2008 financial crisis, how he had no option but to bail out banks because otherwise the entire financial institution was going to crash, something that was shown in The Big Short, the movie which I had reviewed in my earlier videos. Then he talks about how he got the Nobel Peace Prize, and it ends with the death of Osama bin Laden. So what happens after that, what are the decisions he had taken. I think there will be a sequel of the memoir coming out soon. I hope he writes the book soon because I'm eager to read that. And one more thing that I enjoyed about the book was I read the audiobook version, and the book was narrated by Mr. Obama himself, and his voice was wonderful to listen to. Those who have been following his speeches know how impactful his voice is, and to read the entire book in his voice was a wonderful experience. So that is the last book I'll be recommending you. All the books that I mentioned, I have put the links in the description. So if you want to buy any book, you can use those links. Those are affiliate links, so I'll be earning a little commission every time you purchase using those links without any extra cost to you. The Naval Ravikant's book is for free, so you don't have to pay anything, and I won't be getting anything. I just want to do it for you guys. Also, comment on any other book that you want me to review, that you want to recommend to other people in the community. Also, comment if you have read any book that I mentioned, how you liked it, what are your views on that, and whether or not you are agreeing with my own opinion. Let's have a healthy conversation in the comment section. Also, share this video with anyone you think needs to hear this, anyone who reads a lot of books. I'd be really happy to reach out to more number of people. Also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet already. See you in my next video. Till then, take care, keep marketing.